Welcome to the story of your life in the system. And whether you know it or not, most of the time it's pre-decided and prefabricated. You come into the world as a newborn. You grow up into a toddler, and somehow you start to decide for yourself, but there's always someone there telling you what to do. You grow up into a teenager, and pretty much you know what you want to do, but you don't have any experience as far as what it really means. You go to school, and that is where the real conditioning starts. The initiation into the system. And by this time, if you're halfway attentive, you recognize that the system wants you to do what everyone else does. The system wants to put you in a column or a space where you just follow suit. And although you can be creative, but you shouldn't be so creative that you start to understand things outside of the system. Because the moment that you do this, you are counted as somewhat of an outcast, and you are counted as something that is different. And the biggest goal of the system at this point is to hide the fact that it is the system, the matrix, the net. And even as a teenager, although you recognize that there's something that maybe is just not quite right, you just don't know where to put it because there's not enough life experience for you to do a bit of introspect and to figure that out. And this is exactly what the system feeds on, this innocent ignorance, so to speak. So you finish school, and then the question of marriage comes. Maybe you get married, and then you buy a house. Of course, you buy a car. You start taking your vacations every now and then. But this is where the conditioning just continues, because the system is telling you or prescribing you what you need to do, what type of house that you need to buy, what type of car you need to drive, and also what's the best vacation spots in the world are. And it's a continual, subtle plan program of subconscious conditioning. And most people don't come upon this because they don't ask the one question. What is my own identity? Because if you were to ask what is your identity, you would start to focus on you. And life being what it is would guide you in the direction to where you would find out who you are. Not necessarily just as a physical person, but all the other things involved. Because the system would not have it so that you would question anything towards the spiritual, meaning your internal workings, your mind, your subconscious mind, your thoughts, your intuition, your gut feeling, all of these invisible forces that sound spooky according to the system. Because the closest thing to spiritual that we hear nowadays is the church. And although I'm not coming down on the church, we know that the church just doesn't get it done as far as getting to the depth of who we are as individuals. So there, the conditioning further continues, and most of us live our lives without asking the question, who am I? Not as far as trying to get to know our physical selves and know who we are, but more to know, what am I capable of? You see, the best way to brainwash and condition is to convince one that it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter what topics arise or what situations appear, as long as one does not realize that the agenda does not exist. Ask yourself for a moment, what is it that you really can decide for yourself and do only through your own workings? Think about that. And the only thing that you really can do without anyone else finding out about it is think. And although our society and the system say that you can say what you want and do what you want because we live in a free society, although we know that's not true, yet they preach that you can say and do what you want. The fact that you say and do what you want makes it possible for someone to try to stop you or adjust it. But your thoughts, which is the gift of the original power, your thoughts are secretive to any and everyone else. So think about that for a moment, and then you will understand why thoughts create your reality. And this is no coincidence that thoughts are formed to do this. Now, I just simply made this video for you to think for yourself. I'm going to end it right here, but there will be sequels coming up in the near future. So just think about it a moment for yourself. Until the next video.
Hey everyone, Advancing Being Mind here. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more content like this, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you already are subscribed, thanks for the support. Take care.